Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Been kind of a slow news week or weekend over the last couple of days. Didn't really know what stories I wanted to talk about. And then lo and behold, the internet gods dropped something right down in my lap. This is a crazy story coming out of Belgium. And I know many of you are like, Belgium? Who cares what's going on in Belgium? But it's the point that feminists are ruining women when it's really religious women that are trying to save women, ironically. And so you've got feminists that are now forcing other women to sleep with men for money, and there's a law that now does it. If you told me this is where society and the world is going, I would have called you crazy even 10 years ago. You know, I remember when I was young, they would set up stings where guys that happened to all be named John, and these Johns would go out and they would drive along and troll the streets for women of the night, and they would find a worker, and she would do illicit things to him in the car, and then he would give her money, and he would drive home. And they used to put stings out and arrest the guys. They'd arrest the women. Of course, they'd let them right back out on the street because they're women, and it would ruin men's lives if they were caught doing this, and it was always a big to-do. And the advocates that were trying to stop this said women were being taken advantage of by their quote-unquote managers, the guy that happens to rhyme with simp. They were getting taken advantage of by their managers. They're getting beaten up. They don't have the opportunity to refuse to work. It's trafficked. It's all a bunch of bad times. And so the religious right came out and they said, well, we need to stop this. We need to protect these women. And everybody was kind of on board. And then the bedroom work became real work because the leftists always have to oppose anything that anybody ever tells them. They just have to take the contrarian stance. And now, lo and behold, the bedroom workers, they're going to be forced to sleep with men. I'm not even kidding. So from Belgium, this is from, let's see who wrote the Telegraph. From the Telegraph, just a couple days ago, Belgian bedroom workers to get health insurance, pensions, and maternity leave in a world first. I don't know too many of them that are having kids. That's kind of detrimental to the. But anyway, they say the new law grants registered managers power to offer employment contracts to the professionals. So their managers will have contracts that are law-abiding. He said Belgium has become the first country in the world to approve a labor law on employment contracts for bedroom workers. Under the law, if a professional refuses a client more than 10 times over 6 months, the, quote, manager can trigger an intervention by a government mediator but cannot sack the employee. So let's go back. It's the year's 1980, and we have Johnny Pimphand and his 5 women of the night working on a street, and one of them's not making enough money, and she doesn't feel like doing it anymore. So he takes the pimp hand, whack, he smacks her, and he says, get back to work or I'll beat you up. But I'm not going to fire you. I'm not going to fire you because I need you. You need to keep making me money. Fast forward to 2024. Now the government says, hey, manager, if she does not want to sleep with a guy more than 10 times in 6 months, you can't give her the hand anymore, and you can't fire her, but the government's going to intervene and will mediate for you. We live in a clown world. I genuinely feel we live in a clown world, and people need to find Jesus. It also entitles the bedroom worker to health insurance, pensions, everybody, unemployment, and family. Wait, how do you get unemployment? All you have to do is lay there. So what if you twist an ankle or sprain your wrist? I'm pretty sure you can. Oh, you know what? Maybe if you have some issues. And family benefits, because yes, we all know how the ladies of the night have a big families. Holidays and maternity leave. Holidays, really? What about the gentlemen at Christmas time that want to relieve themselves and give her a package? The law is a the law is a world first. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Dan Bowens, a spokesman for the UTSOPI, the unions for bedroom workers in Belgium, said, with this model, Belgium is really demonstrating that it aims to protect bedroom workers. We protect them more than anybody else, regardless of any moral judgments about the professions people may have. He added, we hope that this can lead to a reversal of the recent trend of criminalizing clients in Europe. We hope that other countries will copy this text as they did on such topics as same-sex marriage, baby deletion, gassing old people, and the LGHD TV rights. Okay, so, well, they didn't start all that stuff, I don't think. Maybe they did. But they're saying they hope everybody copies this. Oh, that's gonna turn out well. The law makes it legal to give a professional employment contracts after Belgium became the first country in Europe to decriminalize self-employment bedroom workers in 2022. It bestows certain rights on the worker and conditions on the employer. That's what they call a PIMP now as an employer. These include the right to refuse a client or a specific bedroom act, as well as the right to interrupt the transaction at any time without fear or dismissal of punishment, however, only 10 times in 6 months. They say the workers are also entitled to carry out an act however they wish and to refuse to sit behind Amsterdam-style windows, which are also used in Belgium, or to advertise their wares in a window. But here's the part that just blows me away. Invoking any of these rights more than 10 times in half a year can lead to the government mediation services being called by the worker or employer. Well, the employer is the PIMP, the manager, as it were. The workers can also end their contract at any time with no notice period and do not lose their right to unemployment benefits when terminating their employment. Workers' anonymity will be protected because the contracts will be provided under the same heading as those given to hospitality workers in the restaurant and hotel sector. This is intended to ensure they can apply for other jobs without fear of discrimination. Now, how do you register to become a PIMP manager? The law does not cover, now this is interesting, the law does not cover women that are in the movies. So if you're doing this on film, for the websites, it doesn't count. If you're dancing, like a strip, or webcam performers, so it doesn't cover it, so you don't need a manager for that. The PIMP, the manager, must have registered offices in Belgium and apply for approval before they can offer their contracts. Approval will be withheld if they have convictions for crime, including assault, extortion, other things, or even voyeurism. They must provide the worker with an alarm button so they can obviously keep them safe. The employer must also ensure the worker have access to someone in charge of ensuring their safety, and that unions and support organizations have access to the brothels at all times. Other countries such as New Zealand, Germany, and Netherlands recognize the bedroom work before Belgium, but have never set up a comparably legal framework. The Belgian now here's the best part, right? I mean, all of this is a hot mess. The Belgian parliament approved the law following years of lobbying from the bedroom workers on Friday, with a 93 votes in favor and no votes against it. You guys, women will vote in their own destruction and cheer for it when it happens. I wonder if they have any comments. Let's see. This is. Let me see. It's slowly loading. This is from Web Archive. So when they took the snapshot of the page, it probably didn't have any comments. We'll see if any actually show up here. Guys, I never thought there'd be a day where it's the men that care about the women's health and safety the most. Not the government, not other women. You know, we quote unquote manosphere red pill guys. We're always told we're misogynist and we're hateful and we're awful men. If we were really awful and mean and hateful and everything, wouldn't we be the ones pushing this legislation through? Saying, you know what, these women, all right, we're gonna let them work. I'm gonna take a cut of their pay because I'm their quote unquote manager, and if they don't want to put out more than X amount of times, I have the right to give them the old heavy-handed slap. But now instead of that, the government will do it. And the workers' rights and the unemployment and all that stuff, they're going to have to pay. It's being taxed, right? It's being taxed. Because if you think about it, they're getting unemployment, so you have to state that you're doing this work. They're going to collect taxes from these women. And I don't know what Belgium's tax rate is, but it's probably 50% at least. So a girl goes out and does the deed for $200. $100 goes to the government, and then her manager gets a 10, 20, 30% cut. All of a sudden, for $200, she's getting to pocket, what, $60 of it? And somehow, when I make fun of this stuff and I do this content, I'm the bad guy because I'm saying this is not a great way for women to make their way through through life. And this is a real, the photograph that I have here is from another page that was taking photos of, these are the protesters. These are the women that are clamoring for this stuff. So it's not the 400-pound, hairy, pink-haired, no, in Belgium, a lot of them are actually rather attractive, at least from the photos of the protests and everything that's going on. How is it that because I'm not really that conservative a man, I consider myself kind of pretty open-minded and you do you. How bad are things going when the you do you guys, like myself, saying, hey, maybe you should cut it out. Maybe you should knock it off. Maybe you should ease off the gas a little bit because you're ruining your own life. You're ruining your prospect for future relationships from a genuine man that would love and care and give you empathy. No man's going to do that for a professional. No guy's going to do that. When did the red pill and the manosphere and guys like us, when did we become the voice of reason? That just tells you how crazy everything's gone. And you know something? I can't change it. I can make fun of it. I can watch it all collapse and fall down around me. But the fact that now I'm probably seen as the voice of reason in this situation, and many of you guys as well, tells you just how far we've fallen. Sit back and enjoy the decline. I guess that's all we can say on this one. Guys, hang in there. I'll have another video out for you shortly, and I'll see you in the next one.